Hey everybody, Michael Snyder, Pacific Northwest Weather Watch. Today is November 5th, and taking a look at the infrared satellite imagery this morning. Look at this next storm system. It's got plenty of lightning associated with it. As it moves into the Pacific Northwest, we're going to destabilize things across a lot of the area, especially the coastal range here. And we even have a tornado threat, and I'll show you that. We'll go into some of that detail here in a moment. And that's why I'm kicking out this video a little bit early this morning. I may head down to the south here, out to the coast, or may hang around Portland and maybe a little bit north here and try to see if I can catch one of those elusive tornadoes here across the Pacific Northwest. Taking a look at the channel, doing great. We're over 50,000 subscribers now, and thanks for everybody who's been a member and a subscriber here as we've gone over the last year and a half or so. I can't do it without you. Now, taking a look at Spokane, another round of rain coming in here. You can see big amounts for the Cascades here, and even some nice amounts across, especially the higher terrain of Idaho Panhandle here, some of western Montana. But you can see the rain shadowing effect here across some of the Columbia Basin, Kennewick and Moses Lake, much less than the surrounding areas. Sneaker waves along the coastline also. So if you're out there watching some of these showers roll in, just have that in the back of your mind here. You get the waves running up higher than normal on the coastline. Nice graphic from the National Weather Service Spokane. Current hazards, there is a wind advisory, some gusty winds as these thunderstorms move in during the day today for the Willamette Valley. So heads up for that. And also south central Oregon here as we go through the day. There's also kind of a dense fog advisory out here across some of eastern Washington also. Now, taking a look at that day one categorical outlook, this is for the marginal risk for some severe storms, and this is a tornado threat. Check it out. It almost goes into the Portland Metro. They'd probably be doing themselves a favor if they increase this a little bit further into Clark County and some of the Portland Metro also. There's probably a tornado threat for those areas as we go through the day today, and you don't want to sound too alarmist or anything because obviously a tornado is going to only threaten very isolated pockets of people out here. So the vast majority of you are not going to see anything close to a tornado out there, but there is the chance for an isolated tornado or two across these areas. And if you want a nice affordable home weather station, click on that link down below to save 10% off. I highly recommend this station. So check this out. This is the coastal tornado threshold here built by the National Weather Service, and you can see it is based on helicity turning in the lower levels of the atmosphere about 0 to 3 kilometers. Then you have differences in the temperature between the ocean or the surface and 850 millibars, which is 5,000 feet. 5,000 feet wind speed has to meet these thresholds. The wind direction at 5,000 feet has to be this direction there as well. And you can see the difference between 10,000 feet and ocean or surface temperatures. We have all these parameters in place right now for a lot of the coastal areas, and this does include places inland like Clark County and some of the Willamette Valley here as well. So we have these parameters here, and taking a look at the NAM, the hot off the presses here, you can see this slug of moisture and these thunderstorms that are going to be moving inland as we go through the day today. This would be about 3 p.m. and some of these cells could be quite interesting moving into the Portland area as we go. If we back up a little bit here, you can kind of see this moving onshore today. And again, there's going to be lightning strikes along the coast. So, maybe get your GoPros out and set them up and try to capture one of those. But watch out for that lightning activity along the coastline. It could potentially be spreading up across Washington and Vancouver Island here as well. And you can see those showers, some of the potentially heavy and maybe some rotating segments in there also. So heads up for that as you go through the day today. And as we go on in through tonight and tomorrow, check out this precipitation, just showers after showers. Then we get a nice spin in the atmosphere. We could have a tornado threat again tomorrow as we're going to continue some nice westerly winds aloft, some nice sheared storms as they move onshore. So we could continue that threat on in through tomorrow across some of the region here. Pretty crazy set of storms rolling in here the last several days. Very active November, and that looks like it might continue. We'll check things out in the extended forecast also. This is the helicity, so they're turning the atmosphere. You can kind of see as we go through this afternoon, you do have this co-located with some of that thunderstorm activity. So that could be an interesting scenario unfolding here across some of the coastal regions inland across the Willamette Valley up towards Portland. Now looking at 500 millibars here, just kind of showing you guys the wind speeds here, and kind of showing you that we do have that parameter, that is there for the tornado. Once you get a little bit too northwesterly here, it kind of cuts off that tornado threat. So it's well within the parameters there for some tornado activity. And as we go on in through tomorrow, you can kind of see the spin in the atmosphere here as we roll in there, and this storm finally starts to kick out as we go towards the mid portion of the week coming up here. But then we've got maybe a day or two off and then some more storms arriving. Now taking a look at the European on the left versus the GFS on the right, this is last night's run, 06Z. And here goes the system rolling in today, and it's tomorrow. And then you can see the ridge building on both models here for a day or two, maybe a nice day Thursday before this system kind of moves in. The European a little bit stronger with the system versus the GFS. The GFS a little bit quicker with that one also. But then you can see at the very end of the run, this is going to be a powerful jet stream. Here is some cold air dropping down across the Gulf of Alaska, and this would bring some more storm formation here, and we would be getting some active weather on in through next weekend as well. And we'll take a look at the extended forecast on that one here in a moment also. This is looking at the European last night's run. There goes our storm system. But then as we go off into the extended here, I want to show you that jet stream there at about 39,000 feet, really ramping up and pointing right at the Pacific Northwest to keep our weather active here on in through this upcoming weekend. Now, looking at the 6-hour precipitation, mean sea level pressure, this is pressure European yesterday afternoon. Here goes the storm system rolling in today, and you can see bringing precipitation across much of the region. Some very heavy rainfall associated in here, kind of localized, but probably multiple rounds of it as we go on in through the day tomorrow. You can see the low pressure system sitting right off the coastline here. Again, maybe another tornado threat, brief water spout threat on the coastal areas as we go through tomorrow also. And you can see that some of that heavy rain just continuing on. A little bit of a convergence zone signature here across some of the central Cascades of Washington too. Then we clear out Wednesday a bit here. We dry out for a little bit. Thursday maybe another dry day, but then you can see the next storm system quickly developing here on the European. Kind of an interesting spin up in this low pressure right there. Again, the GFS not as strong with that storm system, but then the storm train starts to take aim again here as we go through the week, and another strong frontal system dropping down on Saturday night and Sunday. And you can see system after system with some interesting lows, upper level lows, maybe even some chilly air moving in across the region here as well. Kind of looking off into fantasy land for once we get out over 200 hours or so here. But yeah, it looks like it's going to remain active here as we go through November. And this is Portland, Oregon. If you look through the day today, you can kind of see the temperatures warm up a little bit here, so you might give some build that instability a little bit here across some of the region, and then you can kind of see the radar come in here. Some heavier showers bound to move in between about probably 4 and 5 p.m. So watch the sky anytime after 2 there across the Willamette Valley for the showers rolling inland here, and of course earlier on the coastline of Oregon as well. This is the Seattle Tacoma here, a fantasy windstorm hunt. Again, bigger windstorms mixed in here with that active pattern continuing, but no definite signal here. Nothing coming online just yet. Purely fantasy at this point. Now, looking at the European, a wider view of things here. You got Alaska, BC, Washington, Oregon, and here goes our system that's rolling through today and tomorrow. And then we build the ridge for a couple days for the European swings the next storm system in there, and then it really digs this trough out of the Gulf of Alaska, some chilly air spilling down, and there's windstorm potential with that as well. And again, some heavy rain, maybe even some mountain snows as we go on in through the mid portion of November with this chilly upper level trough sitting here, and then throws it all the way down across California. And then maybe, who knows, maybe some ridging way off in the extended, but that's looking 300 hours out at this point. The landslide potential here, everybody is on to the left of the line right now, so we should be okay. You never know with all this heavy rain we've been getting, and over the next couple of days, you could get some localized landslides across some of the hilltop areas here, and some of those, we got a lot of steep hills here across a lot of Seattle and Portland, and a lot of the Pacific Northwest, all the way up into Vancouver, BC as well. Oh, yeah. So that's pretty crazy. I mean, there's a lot of lightning going on out there, so be prepared for that. This is coming on shore here in the next couple hours for the Oregon and the Washington coast. So, if you're out and about, taking a walk on the beach, heads up when those dark clouds start arriving here. Probably get some lightning in them. You can get some small hail as well and some very gusty winds also. So, and also watch out. If you get a good view and you've got a good view of the water out there, get your cameras out and maybe try to catch a water spout, but be safe at the same time. So anyway, I haven't decided yet if I'm going to head south towards Portland today or not, maybe out towards the coast. If I do so, I'll have to do so pretty quickly here. But anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. I'll probably do another video, of course, by tomorrow morning, and maybe I'll live stream today if I do head out. So to be determined here. So anyway, hope you guys are having a good day, and I will talk to you guys later.